Hey everyone. Well, where do I begin? Let me just firstly say that thank you, dear God. I am so blessed to be able to talk right now and film this video. You just have to understand that what I went through the past couple of days with losing my voice was something that I've never really experienced like this before in my life. I have to take you back. Sorry if I keep looking that way. I keep thinking the camera is there, but it's actually here. I have to take you back to last Tuesday when I had an appointment to get a pet door installed. And I've got 3 cats, and it was just becoming kind of ridiculous having to continuously open the sliding door, let them in, let them out, let them in, let them out. You get the drift. And so I called the pet door company, and they came on Tuesday. And I live in a double brick home. So the double brick that they had to put the tunnel of the cat door in was no larger than 300 millimeters, which is 30 centimeters. And the man came over and he pretty much said, look, there's going to be a lot of dust coming up. And I said, yeah, okay, that's understandable. I gave him some drop sheets and stuff like that. You would think that the pet door company, having had experience in this type of thing, would supply their own drop sheets. Since when does a company not supply their own drop sheets for these types of jobs? I don't understand. Anyway, so instead of me going to Bunnings, I called my dad, and he was able to give me some drop sheets to give to the guy to, place all over my furniture and put all over the floor and just cover everything, because it was going to be a lot of red dust. Covered all my furniture, the ones that were going to be pretty much sort of near the entry of the door. And he began measuring and doing everything, Now let's just skip to the part where, okay, so he's completed the hole. Okay, he's completed the hole, and he says, look, I can't complete the job because there is, we don't have an extender for the tunnel that goes inside it. But we should be able to get it this afternoon. Anyway, I said, yeah, that's fine. Anyway, the door didn't end up getting finished until Friday. So this was Tuesday, and rainy weather and whatever excuses they had in terms of whether or not they had the extender or not. Anyway, it ended up getting finished on Friday. Now, the thing about this whole install is that it caused my laryngitis. So on the Tuesday, I came down after he'd finished putting in the tunnel, and I have a wet and dry blow dryer, vacuum cleaner. And I sucked up all the red dust that was on the tiles. I sucked up all the red dust that was on the carpet. Because needless to say, even though there were drop sheets, there was still dust everywhere, especially near where the actual cat door was. And you've got to remember that there is going to be not residue, but there will be obviously dust particles still flying up in the air, okay, trying to escape. I had opened all the windows, I had opened all the doors, trying to get this damn red dust out. But meanwhile, while that was happening, no, I wasn't wearing a mask. I mean, I didn't seem to think that I would need to. The guy that drilled the hole was using a mask in terms of, when he was he had the axle grinder and he was grinding it up. I wasn't watching him do this, but I mean, he did have an axle grinder with him. And so he, continued to just axle grind this. He said he would, okay, let me just go back a bit. He was axle grinding the wall, but also had a water spray bottle that he was using to minimize the amount of dust that was flying around up in the air. So when he'd be axle grinding, he'd spray, and that would probably, stop the dust from going around. How successful that is, I don't know. On the other hand, I've heard that there's axle grinders that can actually suck up the dust at the same time, go through some like hydraulic pump. Maybe they're too expensive. I don't know. Maybe they don't work well, but this company obviously didn't believe in them. So, yeah. Anyway, I walk in to a room full of dust. Now, where I live, it's all open plan. The only thing that has doors is the bathroom door and the laundry door. So I slept as I normally do, went to sleep that night, fine. Woke up Wednesday morning, fine. I woke up Thursday morning, fine. Friday morning, fine. Saturday afternoon, around about 4 o'clock, my voice started to get husky and a little bit worse than what it is now. And I will also play a bit of a clip to show you just how bad my voice was, but that was actually a clip where I was able to talk, I was able to talk. Anyway, let's go back to Saturday afternoon, and I'm like, oh God, why am I getting what's happening with my voice? What's going on? I thought it would subside, I thought it would go away. I thought it was just maybe a frog in my throat, so to speak. And Sunday morning, I woke up completely unable to talk. Like completely unable to talk. And that was it. I went into full-blown panic mode. What's happening? I was like forcing it out just to try and get something out. And I went stir crazy because I couldn't talk. I've never ever in my life had laryngitis where I'd just have to, I'd have to go, or something to come out. I've never had to experience that in my life. And I full on panicked. So that night, so Saturday night, I knew that something was up, and I started sort of panicking, and I popped 2 Valiums. That didn't do anything. I really had a terrible night on Saturday night. But on the Sunday when I woke up full blown, not able to talk, I was in obviously my panic attack mode and walking around. And in the end, my mum ended up taking me to the medical centre, and I got some antibiotics. They checked my throat. It was pretty red and inflamed. They checked everything. My breathing was fine. And they gave me some antibiotics just to, because I also had an underlying sinus infection going on at the same time, which was a lot of mucus was dropping down to the back of my throat. Now, was it the combination of having a sinus infection, obviously caused by dust as well, that was an allergic reaction to it, that caused the laryngitis? I don't know. But anyway, sinus infection plus dust is a concoction for losing your voice, for me anyway. So that night, Sunday night, I had a very, very restless night. I would wake up in the middle of the night, pacing, trying to breathe, trying not to think of suffocation. Now, I have a phobia of suffocation. My number one phobia, which I'm much, much better with at the moment actually, is suffocation. I used to wake up in the middle of the night thirsty, and I'd drink a bottle of water, and then, you know, when you're so thirsty that, you know, drinking from the bottle, or even just a glass of water, even just drink from the glass, you're so thirsty that you sometimes stop breathing. And you think, and you're like, oh my God, I've just drunk so much water and I'm, you know, I can't catch a breath. Anyway, a phobia developed for me that way, where I used to think I'd be suffocating or being drowned underwater. And, you know, now it's better. I managed to get myself out of it. I didn't go to see a therapist or counsellor or anything for something like that. But, you know, now I just know that if I want to drink and I have that thought of that I'm going to suffocate, I just, you know, I can drink slowly. I can just have sips of water. I don't have to guzzle it down. And, you know, I don't know why it triggered it. But anyway, I had that phobia. Now, if your phobia is kind of like a suffocation feeling, and I must admit, I have a thing about restriction. Something that I can't do, like when I broke my arm on the 5th of May 2024, and it was all cast up, I went into panic mode. I felt like I couldn't move. I felt like I was in a, you know, those mental institution straps that they put you in, where you can't get out, like just, you know, like mummified almost. I was kind of like, you know, very, very, very in panic mode when I just, you know, when you just can't do anything with your arm, you can't move it. You've got this heavy load, this heavy cast, and eventually when I knew I had to have a better cast put on my arm, I was fine. And it's all a matter of how you think up there. It is all about, you know, controlling the way you think, but how do you do that with a person that's an overthinker, where you override that whole control process? It's hard, you can't. So you just have to go through it, and it was the most scariest thing I've ever, you know, gone through in my life, having this laryngitis. I almost felt like I would rather break my arm again than to experience the fact that I can't let any voice come out. And it's just such a blessing to wake up every day, honestly, being able to see, hear, you know, talk, walk, do things. It really is. You take so much for granted, but I know that I don't take things for granted, because I know that I have experienced these issues of a broken arm or broken wrist. I had a broken wrist, sorry. So when they bandage the wrist, they do it all the way up to the elbow, just under. So if you are a person that, you know, suffers from anxiety with restriction, it's very hard. It's very hard to deal with, and you're not alone. In my opinion, people really, I think, need to have an emergency kit for dealing with these types of things. Now, here in Australia, we don't have Xanax. It's illegal. You don't understand how much I just wanted to have Xanax, because I've heard Xanax works really well in terms of calming you down. No, all I had was Valium. I mean, I had two milligram tablets of Valium, and it still didn't help. And I didn't want to take more than that, because I'm not really, you know, confident with taking more than the prescribed amount. So there's that. And I would really just love to hear if you guys have ever experienced panic attacks. Have you guys ever gone through laryngitis where you haven't been able to talk? Did it freak you out? Did it scare you? Did it annoy you? Did it frustrate you in the fact that you felt like you may never ever get your voice again? Because I was going through all the things that potentially caused this whole thing, and I believe 9.9%, 99% that it was caused from the dust in my room, in my place. And you know, that triggered off a sinus infection, an allergic reaction to the dust, and caused my vocal cords to just stop. I really just only got my voice back yesterday, and it's continuing to get better, thank goodness. But I have honestly been so relieved. I can breathe better. I can just, the relief that I have is insane. And it's crazy because like sometimes when I think about it, you know, you can sort of feel yourself going into panic mode again. And the remedies that I had to get through the so Sunday, and today is now Friday. So I got my voice, I think, back yesterday, which is Thursday. So I had laryngitis from Saturday evening, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, day 6, I got my voice back. And today is day 7, which is Friday. And laryngitis apparently can last between 1 to 3 weeks. What? Who would be able, I mean, how do you put up with that? And I know, like, you know, if you're a smoker, you know, I think things like that can actually, you know, happen to people probably more commonly. You know, I don't know if some people are more susceptible to getting laryngitis. I know maybe a lot of singers would experience probably bouts of laryngitis, a lot of speakers. If you're a speaker that, you know, gets up and does public speaking and or just maybe even does a lot of YouTube videos or who knows what. You know, maybe you're sort of used to that whole laryngitis thing. The only time that I've ever experienced a laryngitis thing was so many years ago when I was younger. And like literally, it lasted like one day, like literally one day. But this is the first time I've ever had to endure 6 days of no voice. And anyway, going back to what I was doing, I was drinking like copious amounts of ginger, lemon, tea with honey, mainly ginger tea, and I'm talking raw ginger, letting it steep in the hot water, letting it cool, making sure not to drink any caffeine. So I was detoxing off caffeine for probably just over a week. Today's the first day that I actually had a sip of coffee, and it was delightful. Needless to say, I wasn't really missing it. When you're sick, you don't really miss that stuff much. But I was having ginger tea, lemon tea, chamomile tea. I was sucking on lozenges. In fact, I'll show you the lozenges that I was using. So I was using the Nestle Soothers. This one here is the eucalyptus and menthol plus vitamin C. Now they do a great job of sort of soothing, they do a good job of soothing the throat, but they dry your throat out as well. The Strepsils, honey and lemon flavor. These are the ones with the dichlorobenzyl alcohol, 1.2 milligrams, and amyl metacresol, 600 micrograms. So I was taking those, and I bought these, which I've never opened, but they won't go astray. These are the Double D Manuka Honey MGO 500 plus lozenges, lemon and ginger. So I was drinking a lot of fluids. I was drinking a lot of water. And in terms of swallowing, my throat was a little bit sore, but it wasn't as so sore. You know, if it was, I think I probably would have ended up in a mental institution had my throat also been like a tonsillitis related thing as well. Because again, I should have probably mentioned, like, I suffer really badly with, I'm very sensitive to having a sore throat. Like if it's anything tonsillitis related, I panic. Having a sore throat for me is just not good. So bad, like especially the sore throat that when you swallow, it hurts your ears. Yeah, I didn't have that. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Because I think I literally would have probably ended up in hospital saying, please sedate me. You need to sedate me right now. You need to give me morphine. You need to give me your best sleep medication so you can just knock me out or whatever. Just knock me out because I can't deal with it. So yeah. These helped. Again, I think the number one thing, gargling with salt water. So I was gargling with warm water and salt 2 to 3 times a day. But the pain of all that is, you know, oh yes, sorry, I forgot to mention, oh my goodness. So I bought a dehumidifier by Philips, $700, because where I live, it's been raining so badly that the humidity was 83%. Not good for helping laryngitis, okay? So I bought a $700 dehumidifier by Philips. I will mention the one that I got in the description below. It's a lifesaver. It brought down the humidity to 63%. It just helps so much, you know. And I think also another thing is humidifiers themselves are good for bringing moisture into the air. A lot of people probably need that if they or they live in a drier climate. But with the dehumidifier, it just helps people who are suffering with these types of allergies like pollen, sore throats, dry throats, you know, things like that. It can really affect your throat, it really can. So the cat door's installed. The cats aren't using it. That cost $1,500 to do. And my cat broke my TV because it was on a TV stand and the cat jumped over and knocked it off. So I had to buy a new TV. And now I'm getting a different cat stand to put it on. So that's more money. So these cats have cost me a fortune. Okay? I want my bunnies back. I want my baby bunnies back. I miss them so much. But 3 cats, guys, I've got a cat door installed, they don't even use it. Anyway, this video, I'm so sorry, has been way too long and probably way too boring. And I just, like, I don't know, every time I just want to film something, I feel like I can't express it in the way that I want. I have this, you know, grand idea in my head. Oh, I'm going to film a YouTube video talking about my laryngitis and, you know, what people can do to get help with it. And I come up talking like a freaking idiot. But I'm feeling better, thank goodness, and that's all that matters. But yeah, I just thought, if you are in the realms of a laryngitis issue at the moment, you're not alone. You're not alone, and I hope this video kind of sort of helps to make you feel better, maybe less stressed. Because I was looking up YouTube videos about laryngitis, and all I just kept getting was, I make this lemon ginger tea and, you know, drink this concoction and blah, blah, blah. There was nothing about really anxiety to do with having kind of laryngitis, so to speak. So I think I need to give my throat a rest now, and when I'm feeling better, I will do a makeup video. Looking forward to it, and I'll talk probably a little bit more about laryngitis. Maybe it'll be a better video. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day or night wherever you are. Love you and leave you. I also forgot to mention that I was having Fess nasal spray. Oh my goodness. This freaking product just helped so much, because when you've got too much air going up your nasal passages, it hurts. Fess helps to lubricate the inside of your nose. So I was doing 2 sprays of this per nostril 3 times a day. I only did it for like 24 hours, and I've only used it once today. But this stuff is a godsend, and I swear to you guys, Fess is the best. It's not an ad for Fess, by the way, but I just wanted to I forgot to mention this. Oh my God, that's all. Okay, bye. Bye for now. Hi everyone. I lost my voice on Saturday evening, which was last Saturday, and fully on Sunday. I'm recovering from a really bad head cold, and I can't tell you enough how bad it actually feels not to be able to talk properly. Perfect for ASMR? No, definitely not. I'm getting better. The thing that's helping me actually better is the Fess nasal spray. It's helping my nostrils feel a little bit more moisturized now and less dry. I recently had a cat door put in. I'll show you. Needless to say, a lot of dust was created inside the house, and I inhaled it, and it's caused me to have laryngitis. So look terrible, feel terrible, actually feel better than I look in terms of the nose and the throat. It's just that I can't get it out. Anyway, I hope to be back soon to film. Bye. I forgot to mention that today is the 6th of August, my auntie's birthday, so happy birthday, Annie. I hope you have a good one, and I shouldn't really be talking, but I'm going out of my mind trying my best to still remember that I have a voice. It's not gone forever, but sometimes you just freak out. major coughing fit last night, like major coughing fit, and bought a dehumidifier as well. And yeah, I shouldn't be talking